the fans are ready here at Grayson County High School. They've been tailgating all day, getting ready for the first home playoff game since 2014. For Grayson County, it is the Iroquois Raiders that wait on the other side. The Raiders hungry for their first win, but the Cougs are ready to potentially pick up what would only be their 8th playoff win in program history. And a good evening and welcome here to Grayson County High School for tonight's coverage of Cougar football on K105. Sam Gormley and the former Cougar quarterback Kaylor Decker with you. Kaylor, there's that crisp cold in the air.
Yep.
Playoff football, and it's in Litchfield. It doesn't get any better than this.
I mean, I was a part of 4 playoff games. Unfortunately, never got to be any part of a home one. And I know what that environment is like going into the opponent's home stadium, and it's already stacked against you the moment you get there.
Grayson County defeated Hancock County 15-14 last week. It was their closest win since a 1-point win against Davis County in 2014. That year just keeps on coming up. Grayson County's won 9 games in the regular season for the 5th time in program history, joining 2009, 82, 81, and 79. They are on an 8-game winning streak. That's the longest in program history. This is only the 6th home playoff game in Cougar football history. All time, the Cougars have 7 wins in the playoffs. On the other side, the opponent for tonight's contest, it's the Raiders of Iroquois. Iroquois enters with an 0-10 record. They finished as the 4 seed in Class 5A District 3. It's been tough for the Raiders as of late. They've lost 28 of their last 29 games played on the field. They do have some COVID wins and losses counted in there, but those are forfeits, so I kind of throw those out really on both sides of the play. This is the first playoff game for Iroquois since 2019. They haven't won a playoff game since 2014, when they were in a district with Grayson County. Head coach Keith May was hired late in July. He played college football at Pikeville, an assistant at Bethlehem, and also at St. X. And he is the 5th head coach in 6 years for the Raiders. They've had a lot of turnover at that position. Grayson County and Iroquois get ready to come up. Coming up on the Locker Room Show, we'll introduce you to both teams, talk to the head coach of the Cougars, Brian Jones, and get you ready with the keys to the game. That comes up and more right here on K105.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Are you looking for the best building materials in Litchfield? Look no further than Future Designs Building Materials. The builder's choice on Quarry Road has everything you need to build your dream home. Jim writes, "I'm so glad I came to Future Designs for my new roof. The staff was so helpful and knowledgeable, and they made sure I got the right materials for my needs. Thanks, Jim." Future Designs is more than just a building materials store. Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Building on experience.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Connection builds community. It grows the minds of future citizens and leaders. Connection teaches. It encourages. It builds confidence. Through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connection says together, we can.
The one thing I know about Grayson County Schools, when you get the right people going in the right direction, anything's possible.
We are GC Connected.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Cougars are about to take on the Raiders of Iroquois. Iroquois enters with an 0-10 record. They finished 0-3 in Class 5A District 3. That district is them, Fairdale, Atherton, and Butler. That's not Butler County. That is Louisville-Butler. It's been a tough season for the Raiders. There's just no other way to put it, but they still have got some talented athletes on both sides of the ball. Their quarterback, Marquis Lanier, On the season, 24 of 66 passing, 279 yards, a touchdown, 4 interceptions, but he's somebody that can really beat you with his legs. He's rushed 73 times for 109 yards and a touchdown. Those stats are a little misleading because obviously that counts in sacks as well. But when I watched a little bit that I have with him on film, if he gets outside the pocket, he can go.
He reminds me of the kid from Moore, what he really does. Not as great of a passer, but if he gets outside of the pocket, that's where he can kind of hurt you. And we have to be very disciplined whenever we're rushing him.
Collion Williams is listed as a quarterback on the roster. He is only 1 of 11 passing, but 77 yards and 3 interceptions as he had a 77-yard pass that the poor kid, it was against Frankfurt, as it was caught by Terrence Jackson, and he got tackled at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
The Frankfurt safety made the biggest hustle play you may ever see, chased him all the way down. It was a great play made by him. Sorry, Iroquois fans, if you're watching. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories with that. Dorian Mosley is the main running back. 50 rushes, 275 yards, and a touchdown. He's caught a pair of passes. You're going to see Mosley line up almost as a quarterback at times, where he'll line up under center at times and shift off. It's like they're running the triple option without running the triple option.
I call it kind of the gremlin package.
It's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, because he's trying to hide, but you can still see him.
Yes, because he's not a very big running back, but he's listed at 5'7", the freshman, but he can beat you with his legs as well. Tristan Meredith, 18 rushes for 59 yards. Williams, the backup quarterback, has carried it 35 times for 58 yards. He's also their leading receiver with 10 catches for 96 yards. They pretty much realize that they're better off taking him out of the quarterback position and putting him into some skill positions. LaRon Jackson, 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. He had a 37-yard touchdown reception in last week's game against Thomas Nelson. The scoring offense, it struggled. 3.4 points per game. They've only scored in 5 of their 10 games, and they haven't scored more than 8 points in a game this season. They only Holmes High School in northern Kentucky, there in Covington, has scored fewer points than Iroquois' 34 this year. So this team has struggled at times, but what better time to figure it out than tonight in the first round? Because if you win tonight, then the 0-10 record means absolutely nothing.
Right now, both teams have not won a game.
And that's a good way to put it. The defense, 42.9 points per game. They've allowed 35-plus in 9 of their 10 games. The lone game that they didn't was against Trimble County, which is on the way there to northern Kentucky on 71. Rush defense allowing 181.6 yards per game on the ground. The passing defense, 78.6. LaRon Jackson is their leading tackler, 62 total tackles and 14 tackles for a loss, and also 4 sacks. He's a guy that you're really going to have to watch from there in the linebacker position, number 38, and he is also one of the young players, a freshman for this Iroquois team. Terrence Jackson and Dylan Ellington both have it. Both are second and third in tackles. Grayson County 9-1, one of their best seasons in the history of the program. We'll take a break, introduce you to them after this. This is Cougar Football right here on K105.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
The doctor said I had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor. But I knew you were out there. And when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at BeTheMatch.org.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day, a movement toward life-saving resources, movement toward advancing research and care, movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
You're not hearing anything? Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Cougars of Grayson County are about to take on the Raiders of Iroquois here in what should be a great matchup. Grayson County's starting quarterback Colby Chaffins this season, 64 of 117, 982 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Kaylor, I like this. Last week we had to do a little bit of math in trying to keep up. I think we can keep track of 18 yards up here.
18 yards.
I think we can do that to where
as long as it doesn't get too late, we should be fine.
Yes, and if he's still passing and it's too late, then Grayson County's got some worries coming in. Caden Hanshaw is the leading rusher, 179 attempts for, I like this here, 1,234 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4 yards in the regular season, 20 touchdowns. He's one of 11 running backs in the state with 20-plus touchdowns. Earlier this week, Caden was named District Player of the Year. Very, very well deserved for Caden. And additionally, Brian Jones was named the Coach of the Year. Again, very well deserved for Coach Jones. Jaron Van Meter, 32 carries for 225 yards. Ethan Mudd, 34 for 206. I think we might see quite a bit of Ethan Mudd in this game. Jaron Van Meter, 22 passes for 393 yards and a team-high 6 touchdowns. Grayson Chaffins, 24 catches for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mason Carroll came on strong in the last couple of weeks. He had that huge catch, 6 catches for 113 yards and a touchdown. He is not playing tonight.
I would expect him back next week, though.
Precautionary
He
reasons.
could probably go tonight if we desperately needed him, but I think it's
probably the smart move to hold him out.
I can confirm Grayson will be on a pitch count.
He will, yes. He's been dealing with an illness throughout the week, and he is going to be limited
I would say
as well.
Kind of obvious passing situations on offense.
Scoring offense is averaging 28.7 points per game. The red zone offense, 32 of 42, 9 2-point tries, all of them by one Caden Hanshaw. The defense has been what's carried this team at times this season. 8.6 points. That's the lowest in class. That's really, really good. The defense which was that game against Marshall County. Rushing defense at 11.9 per game on the ground. The pass 4 through the 8. Kent Cornwell leads the team with 71 total tackles. Jaron Van Meter second on the team with 66 total tackles. The turnovers have been a big factor of this defense. 27 total takeaways, 13 fumble recoveries, 14 interceptions. As a reminder, Sheriff Norman Chaffins donates $50 for every interception, and I think he's going to need to start a GoFundMe because right now $700 is the donation from one Sheriff Chaffins.
I don't remember the last time we had picked more passes off than we had forced fumbles.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and dive into the stats when it comes to that. Brian Jones, the District Coach of the Year, is the head coach of the Cougars.
We had an MRI, and then all of a sudden this doctor comes in and he says to us, we have the potential here for a catastrophic event.
And he looked scared.
He looked terrified. And he's like, we got to operate now. It just all changed. Life changed.
Bryce is one of the 47 children per day who are diagnosed with cancer. Today's treatments aren't enough. To watch the rest of Bryce's story, visit childrenscancer.org/story.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors, helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes,
we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
Welcome back to the Locker Room Show here on K105. Sam Worley now joined by the head coach of the Grayson County Cougars, head coach Brian Jones. Coach, your team had your first 1-point win in a game since 2014. Again, that year just keeps coming up here this season. When you went back and watched it, what'd you like?
Well, I liked our grit. I think that we kept fighting, kept battling, didn't give up, didn't fold, got behind a couple of times and had to, gain the lead back. So, I liked how we battled in that sense.
What didn't you like?
Well, I thought we were out-physicaled. For the first time in a long time this season, I thought, Hancock County was the more physical team. I feel like they controlled the line of scrimmage more than we did. They controlled the time of possession. They played our style of football, and, it's difficult to be on the other side of things. But, we did enough to get a win, and that's, in the end, that's the important thing.
Earlier this week, both you and Caden were recognized as being District Player and Coach of the Year, respectfully. What do those awards mean to the program?
Well, for me, I think it's a reflection of how our students or our athletes have played this season. Ultimately, I know the recognition is bestowed upon me, but that's not done without a great coaching staff and a great group of athletes that are fulfilling our game plans and things like that and executing at a very high level. So to me, it's a reflection of a whole group thing for the Coach of the Year. On Caden's part, I think obviously it's a reflection of him having a great season, but that's not done alone. That's not done without an offensive line that's doing their job. It's not done without our fullback play. It's not done without our pass game to make some of the runs available and things like that. So again, I think it's, even though one person is being recognized, I think it's a reflection on the offense as a whole, that's having a really good year.
I know I've really noticed major support this week for your team from the community. They're really rallying around you all, and I know even it was solidified yesterday that this is Grayson County Cougar Football Week here in Grayson County. What's that been like?
It's been absolutely awesome. I told the kids very early on in the year that I felt like we had the kind of community that if we were doing the things that we were capable of doing, we would see some really, really special things, and that is held true. The naming the week Grayson County Cougar Football Week by the judge executive and the mayor. I have personally been to some places that people recognize who I am and stop and want to talk about the season we're having. The chairman of the board contacted me today and wanted to reach out and just wish us luck from the board members. And I felt like we had that type of community, that type of school system. I seen it a little bit my first year here in the county working when the girls team won the region, and you saw some of that. And I felt like we just have that kind of community that's going to rally behind their student athletes and show all kinds of support. You got the stuff around the square, the tailgate party pregame tonight. It's been awesome to really see and experience and be a part of. And I hope these kids realize what a special occasion this is for them and appreciate the type of community that we have, because it is a special one. Not every place is like this. Not every team gets these experiences, and it's been exciting to be a part of.
The injury and even illness bug has bit you a little bit over these past couple of weeks. Do you expect to get any of your guys back this week?
Well, we're going to probably err on the side of caution with a few of them. Mason Carroll, we're going to go ahead and not dress him at all. But some of the others will be dressed, ready, but we're going to use, if necessary, kind of situations with a few of them. So some of them are getting back healthy and getting back going, but we want to be intelligent with their play as well, and not use them unless needed. And so hopefully that pays off this week and weeks to come.
If we're being honest, your team's a heavy favorite in tonight's game, really in a playoff game for the first time, you could maybe even say, in the history of the school. How do you make sure your team stays focused on this game and doesn't look ahead?
Well, I think that they've done a really good job of that all season, and I hope we see some electricity and the energy of the atmosphere, and we play off of that. So, we have talked about, handling the situation appropriately, but you really don't know until you get out there and get that first play under your belt and see what, how it's all going to play out. But, the best we can do is talk to them about the situation and handling it like champions. And I feel like this season, that's kind of how they've handled all the adversity we've seen and faced. And tonight's just another night where we've got another team that's on the, slate for us to play. So we've got to handle our job and do our part to handle appropriately and not get too caught up in the moment. And like you said, not look forward to next week's game as well. There's several teams across the state that backed off out of the playoffs, and Iroquois had the same opportunity. If they didn't think they had a chance, that I feel like they would have probably backed out. So they're coming to win a ball game, and we're going to have to do our part to make sure that we're on the winning side of things.
Iroquois hasn't won a game this season, but I'm a firm believer in any given day. Yep. Any given day, anything can happen. I know they got some really good athletes on both sides of the ball. What do you see from them?
Well, just like you said, they're going to have some very talented athletes, and they've got the ability to go the distance on us at any given point. That they're going to be more athletic than we are. So we're going to have to keep things corralled up and not let them get loose and in space and be athletes that they are. And again, we've got to get back to controlling the line of scrimmage. And I do think that that's probably an area that we're better. And tonight's game is the line of scrimmage. And so we've got to control things up front, not let them get started, and then see where it goes from there.
Grayson County's only won 7 playoff games in its history. And tonight you also have the opportunity to get double-digit wins for only the second time in the history of the program. How do you make it happen?
Ball control, time of clock, time of possession, turnover margin, all those things that we talk about week in, week out are very important when it comes to playoff time. We got to win the field position battle and play our style of football. And last week, I didn't think that we did all those things. Though, if you look back, time of possession was probably the big one. We did win the turnover battle and some other things. So we've got to stay in control of those, those little things that add up to victories. And I think if we can do those things, we got a good shot.
Coach, good luck. More comes up on the Locker Room Show after this.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages. Our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran, and disability employer.
We had an MRI, and then all of a sudden this doctor comes in and he says to us, we have the potential here for a catastrophic event.
And he looked scared.
He looked terrified. And he's like, we got to operate now. It just all changed. Life changed.
Bryce is one of the 47 children per day who are diagnosed with cancer. Today's treatments aren't enough. To watch the rest of Bryce's story, visit childrenscancer.org/story.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day, a movement toward life-saving resources, movement toward advancing research and care, movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Cougars of Grayson County are about to take on the Raiders of Iroquois. Kaler, really quick keys to the game. Let me help if I turn your mic on.
Yeah. Probably don't look out and too far ahead of this game. You still have to win tonight before you get to next Friday. The second thing is, I've been a part of playoff games I've started. The game's faster. It doesn't matter if it's a 0-10 team or a 10-0 team. They're going to play much better and much faster than they did during the regular season. So you have to be ready for that, and you have to elevate your game to the next level just to match that.
Grayson County and Iroquois is next on K105. Our K105 Digital Productions broadcast. So we're going to keep it here and give you kind of a interesting, different peek, I guess, because there's some special things that are going to be happening, but we got to pay some bills on the radio side. It looked like Grayson County won the toss and wants the football. As you might notice that right now, since you're watching, if you're still listening right now, that somebody is running to the left side and everybody else is running to the right side. Well, that happens to be Sawyer Drake, who is – when's the last time Sawyer ran that many yards, Kaler?
Well, I wish he ran it every time he got a fullback dive and took it about that distance.
Took it to the house, yeah. I mean, that'd be almost a house call. That's over 100 yards. There's just something special that is going to be happening that our crew is going to try and bring you right now. As you heard Kaler's keys to the game, but this Grayson County and Iroquois game, we appreciate everyone for taking the time to tune in. I think we had some audio issues at the beginning of the game. I hope we have fixed that, though, and made things a little bit better for you at home. And fixing that to make sure that we can bring you the best broadcast that we possibly can. Again, Sam Gormley and Kaler Decker back here with you. And you might even see that something happening there. There's some lights turning on, Kaler. I know this team has been waiting for this for a while.
Oh, especially a certain set of individuals.
And it's the guys that never get the credit unless they screw up. There's even Grove Street happening. Are we in Lexington now? As if you're seeing.
That thing is moving.
If you're wondering, here comes the football team running onto the field right now. Here come the Cougars. And over on the opposite side, a hog trailer is pulling the Grayson County offensive line. The fireworks are bursting. I think our on-field camera is going to have to get ready to get the offensive line ready as they come around. They're going to have to hurry up a little bit.
Yeah, and based on how fast that trailer's moving, they
luckily, I don't think any of the offensive linemen are needed on kickoff duty, are they?
Well, they do tend to kick it short, so probably not. You wouldn't want to have the bigger guys out there.
They might just have to let them off right there.
That's what I would do. If the officials let us start a little early, maybe they'll let us start a little late.
Yeah, this is usually they start us early, so they're trying to wrap it around and get this when it comes in. As again, we're getting ready. Our radio coverage is getting ready to join us as well. Hopefully our on-field camera is going to wrap around too and get you something as well. Perfect. We welcome back in our radio coverage here as Grayson County and Iroquois are about ready to get underway. The hog trailer is pulling in the Grayson County offensive line right now. There's technically zeros on the warm-up clock, but we're about ready to roll. Sam Gormley and Kaler Decker with you. As the line, that trailer is bouncing back and forth. I guess the officials are being nice and obliging. As I'm sure our camera will get close to make sure they get them when they come off of this trailer. That thing is bouncing back and forth. They're being nice here and obliging, that letting it go a couple extra seconds there. Iroquois has been waiting. poor Mark Unself, their kicker, has been just sitting there waiting, and they're getting ready to hurry up and let him out. Maybe.
Unless they're taking him back, I don't know.
Now we got some
flares
coming as well. Let's see if we can't get a camera over there a lot quicker. It's first home playoff game since 2014, and the Cougs are ready for it. Taylor, I got to say, you're probably a little jealous right now, aren't you?
I've never wanted to be a lineman until now.
Yeah, no, but listen, if there's one group on the team, you're a quarterback. Those men deserve it.
They deserve all the credit that they get, and they probably deserve a lot more.
Grayson County and Iroquois about ready to get underway. And now, Kayla, we're going to...
A little bit of a fog.
And they do an onside kick to Iroquois. They hurry up and get started, and Grayson County falls down on it at the 44-yard line. And that's how we are going to get ready to get underway here in this game as Grayson County and Iroquois. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you. Grayson County, Colby Chafin's going to start with a football placed on the Grayson County 44-yard line. Chafin's 18 yards away from 1,000 for the season. He would become the first quarterback since Marty Haycraft in 1986 to cross that mark. And from what we can find out, might only be Marty Haycraft might be the only other one to do it. I know that there have been some more questions with that. Chafin's going to go under center. Caden Hanshaw, the deep back, here as we get ready to open up this game. Jaden Kinney shifts from the left side to the right side of the line. Cougars working from right to left. It's a pitch to the far side of the field to Hanshaw. He hits the hole to the 50, 45, 40, breaking through, and he's dropped down at about the 33-yard line. The freshman running back, Caden Hanshaw, keeps doing what he's been doing all season long. Carries it down to the 32-yard line. First down, Grayson County. 24 yards on the run there for Caden Hanshaw.
And I like what he did there. He saw the hole initially, and he just stuck his foot in the ground and gets vertical. Doesn't try to get fancy in this big of a moment.
First down and 10 for Grayson County.
Looks like we're Wildcat.
It is the Wildcat formation, Caden Hanshaw. Now they're going to shift back, and Colby Chaffins was lined up as a tight end. Now he's going to rejoin in the backfield with Hanshaw, the running back, to his right. Trips down here to the near side of the field to pass. Screen, bubble screen, caught by Van Meter. He's to the 30, 25, bouncing outside the numbers.
We had an MRI, and then all of a sudden this doctor comes in and he says to us, we have the potential.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where we hope that we have fixed some of our issues. We know we are having technical issues. We are working on fixing them as soon as we possibly can. Looks like there is a fumble for Iroquois on the far side, and the Cougars might have it.
Yep.
They do. Grayson County has the football after a fumble by Iroquois. So Iroquois had a return. And we do realize that we were having technical issues. I appreciate everyone letting me know, but we're very well aware. We are working on fixing them as soon as we possibly can. Okay, welcome back to our radio coverage. Sorry, our internet crashed here at the station, at the stadium rather. Jaron Van Meter had a 1-yard touchdown run. Iroquois just fumbled on their first play from scrimmage, and Grayson County has the football now with 10:34 left in the first quarter of play. Cougars have it first down and 10 inside the 20-yard line. Over the middle, a diving attempt made by Van Meter at the catch, and he's got it down at the 2-yard line. It's a pickup of about 18 yards for Jaron Van Meter.
And that ball's put in a good spot. He has a safety coming at him from the back, so he needs to get him low and inside, and that's right where it hit him.
10 minutes and 22 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. Again, we apologize for those issues, but sometimes technology just doesn't want to work. And of course, it has to happen.
Yeah, especially in big moments. It does.
Correct.
It tends to do that.
Under center will go Colby Chaffins in the eye. Wide receiver on each side. The ball comes out, and it looks like Iroquois got it. A fumble inside, and it is recovered by the Raiders. Grayson County gives it right back, and Dorian Mosley falls down on it. And I'll tell you what, Kaylor, Grayson County hadn't had a fumble through the first couple of games of the season and have had multiple in these last couple of weeks.
And that's something you really got to clean up playoff time, because what you did, you handed momentum right back over to Iroquois, and you get deeper and deeper into these playoffs, those become game changers.
Iroquois will have it placed at about their own 2 or maybe back to actually the 3-yard line, first down and 10. The quarterback, Marquis Lanier, is in the gun. Shifting off is Mosley. He's going to line up in the slot. Lanier to pass, far side, and throwing it. It is incomplete, intended for Williams. A little too high, and that'll bring up second down and 10. This Iroquois offense, Marquis Lanier is the starting quarterback on the season, 24 of 66 for 279 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. Dorian Mosley is the main running back, 50 rushes for 275 yards and a touchdown. It'll be first down and 10 for Iroquois.
False start.
And a false start is going to be called here on the Raiders. Raiders have struggled at times this season scoring. They average only 3.4 points per game. It'll bring up second down, and it's really only about a 2-yard penalty.
Yes, I mean, it's still a penalty.
1.5 yards. I guess the best false start that you possibly can have. I mean, it's only the 1.5-yard variety. 9 minutes and 38 seconds left here in this first quarter play. Grayson County up 7-0. Lanier to pass. He's going to let it fly down the far side, and are we going to have pass interference? We are. On the far side, in there on coverage was it Stephen Lee? Yes, it is Stephen Lee in on coverage, and he just shoved Williams down on the play. I don't know that Lee was necessarily beat either.
No, I don't. I really don't know what he was trying to do. All he has to do is cover 3, stay deep.
Remember that if the best place to always watch our broadcasts is on YouTube, as well as typically that has the smoothest stream.
And
this play
with Grayson being on a pitch count, he's not really going to be in on defense, which means neither of our starting corners are out there right now.
With Mason Carroll, as you've got one, Jake Bratcher is one, and the other one is Stephen Lee. Both very inexperienced. The ball is going to move up to the 16-yard line for Iroquois. They'll have it first down and 10. Shifting in motion. It's a direct run for Lanier, and he slips and falls. Conrad Raymond's going to get credit for maybe the easiest tackle of his life because Lanier was tackled by the turf monster. And they're actually, I thought they were going to give him a gain of 1 yard. They're going to say no gain on the play.
And did a good job there. The counter action, Conrad stayed disciplined to read the pulling guard, and he was there to fly over top.
Second down and 10 for Iroquois. 9 minutes left in the first quarter of play. Second down and 10. A wide receiver on each side of Lanier. Offset tight end to the right side of the line as well. It's a direct run right up the middle. That's the hidden running back acting as a decoy. Mosley, I didn't even see him behind the line, but he was there and carries it forward for a pickup of 13 yards and a first down at Iroquois. That's why they run that little play.
It can catch you.
And it did right there. It fooled Grayson County.
Now you're starting to see how big turnovers are.
Grayson County had a chance to go up
2 scores.
To go up 2 scores when Iroquois had run one play, and now as a turnover in the red zone. That makes it even worse.
That's the difference. And then you gave up 2 first downs. One was on a pass interference, the other being just a gadget play up the middle.
To pass. Throwing it up far side, and it is Williams who can't make the play. Broken up on the far side by Grayson County's Stephen Lee.
And that was a really good job by Stephen playing the ball there. He got caught up looking at the receiver last time. He got his head turned this time, found the ball, swatted it up the air.
Second down and 10 will come up here for the Raiders of Iroquois. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker here with you on the call on what has turned out to be a really nice night for football. It's chilly, but it's the first Friday in November. What do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, it's about, in Kentucky it could be 80. Who knows?
But it also could be 30.
It could be 30.
And snowing. Up the middle on the run, and
yeah.
there is nothing there. And a very late penalty flag is thrown by the umpire. The ball comes out, but it came out after the forward progress was stopped. It's got to be a hold on Iroquois, you would assume.
That or a face mask.
Face mask,
one of the
potentially.
two.
Hands
And
to
that
the
big
face.
and that much of a pile.
It could be anything. Here comes our head official. Personal foul. Face mask called against Grayson County. That is a brutal penalty called against the Cougars because that's been two, pass interference and
two
face
first
mask.
downs you've just given up, where they didn't execute a play and you did it for them.
It's going to move the ball to the 44-yard line, first down and 10.
And that's more common of a penalty than you think, especially in those piles, because you're taught to go for the ball.
And you're just
miss. It's like a basketball at that point. You really, lose pile. You really don't know where the ball is, and you end up catching a face mask. The ref sees it.
Iroquois is going to have it on their own 44-yard line. This is a good drive for the Raiders after they fumbled on their first play. They've been helped out by Grayson, but they've also had a first down on the ground. 3 first downs on the drive. Run near side, trying to find the edge. Nice tackle made by Kenton Cornwell. So it was a handoff to LaRon Jackson. He wasn't able to quite get the edge, and he's going to be dropped for a loss of 3 yards back to the 41-yard line.
And that was a really good job by everybody on this left side, feathering that play out, and then Kenton making the tackle low on somebody that was much bigger than him, which is a lot of people. But he's the leading tackler for a reason.
He is, and he's had a great season. It may be a season that not everyone thought he was going to have.
No.
And I think an argument could be made he might be the defensive MVP.
He is up there, especially with how many, at his size, how well he tackles. You don't see it much.
Second down and 13 for Iroquois. 2 wide receivers to the left side, 1 here to the near side for the Raiders. Shifting off is Mosley as he was under center. Now he's going to go off and be another wide receiver. Williams shifts in motion. They fake the handoff to him. It's a jet sweep run for the quarterback, Lanier. And Braden Mudd went with him the entire time, acting like a quarterback spy, and shoves him out of bounds for a loss of 1 or 2 yards.
And that's a great job, not getting fooled. That play fake had me for a second, I'm not going to lie. He did a really good job at selling it, but Kenton and Braden stay disciplined on the backside.
We'll try to bring you some scores, too, from around the region as the evening goes on. Here's one that I see. Butler leads Moore 6-0 halfway through the second quarter.
Wow. Tight game.
And we'll try to see. The big one is Fairdale North Bullitt because the winner of this game gets that one. 3rd down and 14 for Iroquois. Grayson County's not been able to get off the field. 7-0. They're on top. 6 minutes left in our opening quarter. And it was the trick play, and it was the direct snap there to the under center player, Mosley, and he's dropped for a loss of the play. And Conrad Raymond might have been one of the first men in there on the tackle for Grayson County, and Iroquois will presumably be forced to punt.
I thought you're only down a touchdown. There's no point in going for this. You've helped almost flip field position depending on the punt you get.
It's back to the 38-yard line. It's a loss of 2 yards. This will be the 10th play of the drive, and it ends with no points for the Raiders. That hurts.
Especially when you don't even make it across midfield and at least do something for field position.
Mark Unself will be the punter. Slow snap. Not a bad punt, though. Van Meter's going to have to catch it over his shoulder at the 35-yard line. Van Meter to the near side of the field. He goes to the 50, and he's dropped down as he just continues to move those legs down at about the 41-yard line. Nice return for Jaron Van Meter, and Grayson County's offense is going to trot back out onto the field. Colby Chaffins has already crossed the 1,000-yard mark.
Late.
And is it?
That's 22-yard line.
It is going to officially move down to the 22-yard line. Appreciate everyone bearing with us. We are dealing with some technical difficulties in tonight's broadcast. We've had pretty much a crystal clear season all year until today. The chain gang's not ready. Grayson County's going to snap it anyway. They're going to give it to Hanshaw as he comes across the near side. He's to the 20 before being runs up the sideline rather. And let's see, they actually might say that he stepped out of bounds back after only a short pickup back at about the 18-yard line. If that's where it's marked, it'll only be a 4-yard run for the freshman phenom, Caden Hanshaw.
Yeah, and I think that's where they're going to mark it.
It's hard for us to tell as the Grayson County team was blocking. In fact, it's actually back more to the 19. It's only 3 yards there on the run for Hanshaw. Bring up 2nd down and 7 for Grayson County. 4:50 left in the first quarter of play. Here from Grayson County High School, winner advances in the playoffs, and will play either Fairdale or North Bullen. If Grayson County wins, that game is here. If Iroquois wins, the game is at the other one. Pitch to Hanshaw, and he's going to go in untouched. 10-5 touchdown, Grayson County.
Coming back.
There is a penalty flag on the play, and it looks like it's on Grayson County. Let's see what the penalty is, and it is holding called against Grayson County.
And you got to be disciplined in the playoffs.
Been a lot of penalties on this Grayson County team to start off, and they're all penalties.
They're preventable.
Exactly.
I'll say the face mask was a little, that can just happen. The hold can just happen, but those PIs, those you're supposed to be playing the ball. You're taught to do everything against that.
That'll make it 2nd down, and they'll move it back to the 30. So it'll be 2nd down and 18 for Grayson County. Offset I formation. Give it to Hanshaw again, and he slips, and he's dropped at about the 26-yard line. You can give the freshman about 4 yards on the run.
And Iroquois is starting to get aggressive now. They've kind of stacked the line of scrimmage a couple times now. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a shot getting ready to come up or a screen with them blitzing.
Third down and long here for Grayson County. See if they'll let Colby pass. Offset I. Play action. Rolling out to Chaffins. He throws over the middle. Wide open. Caught by Kinney. Kinney's inside the 5. Ball comes out. He's stripped as he goes inside the 5-yard line. And is it another turnover for Grayson County in the red zone? Or did one of his teammates bail him out?
Yeah, they're going to say somebody recovered it and he was down before they got it.
And it does appear Grayson County's going to get it. Kinney picks up 24 yards. But he is bailed out majorly by one of his teammates.
I think he saw the end zone. He started to get a little happy about that.
It's his first catch of the season.
And what he has to do in that situation is that ball was not tucked well. It was low, and there was a bunch of air in between the ball and his chest, and that can happen, especially with a good corner who knows how to hit the ball out of your hands.
3.5 left in the first quarter of play. It's 7-0. Grayson County on top. Pitch Hanshaw. He tries to hit the edge, and he breaks a tackle, dives towards the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Grayson County. Cougs are up 13-0 with 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Caden Hanshaw's first rushing touchdown of the game. Here comes the extra point from Lane Beasley. Beasley hit his first one. He is 18 of 29 on PATs this season. High snap. Van Meter gets the snap down, and it is good. Grayson County on top, 14-0, 3:24 to go here in this first quarter of play. This is Cougar football right here on K105.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors helping neighbors. In communities around the world, when disaster strikes, we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's
High
disease.
school, where the Cougars are on top of this game 14-0 against the Iroquois Raiders. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you here on the call. Lane Beasley to kick away from the near hash. It's a line drive kick that takes a bounce and just kind of dies the 15-yard line. Bobbled on the snap. Van Meter comes in with a big hit. Down at the 15-yard line. Great tackle made by Jaron Van Meter.
And, I mean, that's one of those kicks you'll like to have. I mean, it gives the kickoff team time to get down there, set, get good coverage, and if you get lucky, they'll bobble that ball a few times and you have a chance to recover it.
And a little knuckleballer there on the ground from Lane Beasley. Officially, the ball's going to be back at the 16-yard line. Iroquois, though, moved the ball a little bit on their last drive. Three minutes and 20 seconds left here in this first quarter of play. 14-0 Grayson. Lanier is in the gun. We'll have a new running back in the game to his right. I believe that's Dylan Ellington. Man shifts in motion. Off from under center. That was Mosley. Williams on the jet sweep. He turns up middle, and right when he hit the hole right up the middle, he was blown up on the play. I believe Brayton Mudd came in, and Conrad Raymond hit the hole. Great job. Great play made by Grayson County.
So, I mean, that play is designed to go outside, so you could easily, as a linebacker, get over top of that and allow a cutoff lane.
No gain on the play.
There was nothing there. And it looks like a over unbalanced.
It is unbalanced to the far side of the field. Direct run, Lanier. He turns upfield, and he's dropped after a short pickup on the plays. He comes right up the middle, so he gets to about the 19-yard line. And third down and long coming up for Iroquois. And this is really what you want if you're Grayson County. Forcing this team into third down and long.
Yes, I mean, they're not a great passing team at all. But what you have to remember in this situation is don't let the quarterback get outside the pocket and don't give him a passing lane.
And don't have another
PI
like you had.
Don't surrender a first down, pretty much.
And Grayson County's had a couple of those that they've surrendered early on in this game.
Make them get the first down, not you give it to them.
Third down and long for Iroquois. To pass over the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Mosley. He didn't quite go all the way in on the route, and if he would have, it probably would have been a little too tall. But regardless, Iroquois will presumably be forced to punt.
He did have a guy out here on the edge, kind of sit down at the first arrow marker, kind of breaking inside that had room. I don't know if you saw him or not.
And back to punt. Last punt wasn't bad for the Raiders.
No.
Taken by Unself. Van Meter.
Just the return was
And
good.
The return, too, is Van Meter catching it over his head.
And you add the 15-yard penalty to the end of it.
A slow snap. Hanshaw came in to try and block it. This one's a shorter punt. On the bounce, it goes past Van Meter. He's going to pick it up at the 40-yard line. Curls around, gets a nice block from Bratcher as he comes down to the 40, and he's tackled by the Turf Monster. Maybe he wasn't tackled by the Turf Monster. Ball comes out at the end. Van Meter thought he was tackled by the Turf Monster and then got back up. Iroquois hit him because the official never blew the play dead.
That whistle should have been blew dead before.
We'll see where the ball will be placed here.
Because you're just asking for a kid to get seriously hurt in
or
that situation.
You're going to tick somebody off.
Yeah. Well, probably the kid that gets hit because you didn't rule him down, and he's getting up expecting not to get hit.
Grayson County's going to have it on the Iroquois 43-yard line. 1:12 left here in this first quarter of play. Cougs up 14-0. They put the ball on the turf twice in this game. One was recovered by the Raiders. One was recovered by Grayson County, thankfully.
I would expect a double post concept here. Kind of see Jaron on a wheel route.
Bunch to the right. One wide receiver here to the near side. Chaffins to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Floats it over the middle. Diving attempt at the catch. Can't pull it in. Kenton Cornwell.
Had the wheel route for a touchdown. And Jaron beat his man. I think Colby may have got his decision made before the snap that time, and as a quarterback, you never want that to happen. You want to have an idea of where you want to go, but you have to be open to changing that if you don't get what you like.
2nd down and 10 for Grayson County. Colby Chaffins has passed the 1,000-yard mark for the season. He did that on his first pass of the game to Van Meter over the middle. In the gun, Chaffins. 3-step drop, rolls out to the far side, does a nice job, throws, and it is incomplete.
Underthrown just a little bit.
It was intended for Van Meter and probably should have been intercepted on that far side of the field. LaRon Jackson was in coverage. I'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Grayson County. That was not Colby's best throw.
No, I've seen him make that throw.
This season?
This season. I don't remember what game, maybe McLean, where he put that ball on a strike and it hit Jaron in the chest. And I thought it was going to knock him down. So, I mean, I think he got a little too much air under at that time, and that threw it off. But this is his first playoff game. It's different.
3rd down and 10. Hand off, Hanshaw. He bounces it inside to the 40-yard line. Bounce it outside to the 35-30. 25-20. One man to beat as he's inside the 10. And he's slung down inside the 5-yard line. What a run by Caden Hanshaw. He made something out of nothing as he just hit that hole and then busted outside as he gets down to about the 2-yard line. 41 yards on the run for the freshman Caden Hanshaw.
And that's always a good thing is whenever you can be in 3rd and 10 but still be able to run the ball. It's a good weapon to have as a quarterback.
1st down and goal from the 2-yard line. And I think it's probably safe to say Caden Hanshaw is going to get this ball a couple of times.
Yeah, let's just make sure. I would like it to be one time, get it over with.
Or maybe Jaron.
Or maybe Sawyer.
Sawyer Drake is in the backfield. Come on, let it happen. I've been waiting for it, Caleb. How long have I been waiting for it?
Since I think it was Bullet Central.
They're not going to give it to Drake. Instead, they're going to give it to Hanshaw, who goes in, wrapped up, but he's across the goal line. Touchdown, Grayson County. They're up 20-0 with 44.4 seconds left on the clock here in this first quarter of play. Hanshaw's 2nd touchdown run.
Well, I hope we brought enough fireworks.
I don't know who's firing them off over there. I do appreciate that. I think they're sitting in their car. I'm not sure if they're listening to us sitting in their car, but I don't blame them either. It's kind of a chilly day.
I'm glad
Beasley's extra point is up and good. Beasley puts it up. It is now 21-0. Grayson County on top of this game. And again, we've been dealing with some technical issues. We are aware of them. Please bear with us. Technology doesn't always want to work. The game, we're having some issues on Facebook, and Kayla, I'm going to be honest with you, I just haven't had time to figure out what the issue is.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be halftime, but just go to YouTube. If you're listening on the radio and you're wondering what's happening or listening on the K105 app, if you want to watch the game, just search K105 on YouTube. The best part about YouTube is you can put that on your TV, too.
Mm-hmm.
I know you do that with all the volleyball games that we stream to watch your sister play, right?
Yep, definitely.
Or did you go back? Did you even know that your dad?
Yeah, I did.
Because he came up to me and he said, did he tell you what he told me?
No.
He said, I need to show my son how it's done.
Oh, okay.
And I said, well, okay.
The only thing I'm going to give him is he's more artistic than me.
More artistic?
Yeah. I got the athleticism in the family.
Would he agree with that?
He better.
21-0. Grayson County on top. 44 seconds left here in this first quarter of play. Let's see if we can't find a quick score while Lane Beasley gets ready to tee it away. Bardstown on top of Allen County Scottsville 22-0 at the end of the first quarter of play. I want to try and find a Fairdale score. As Fairdale and North Bullitt, it is 7-6 the end of the first quarter. Fairdale leads. Grayson County, if this result holds, would play the winner of that game. As it is 44.4 seconds left on the clock here in this first quarter. It's an onside kick, but it's an offsides called against Grayson County, and they would have got. I think they would have gotten that football.
They would have. That was a good kick too.
Tell you, Lane Beasley has been one of the unsung heroes of this team this year. Considering that he's not a kicker.
Nope.
and listen, that's not easy. Those onside kicks.
I can't do it. No, there's no way I can't. There's a lot of things I can't do. Honestly, I can't catch, can't kick. Can't really throw sometimes, you know.
Is there something you can do?
I don't know. I don't know why they even put me out there, to be honest with you.
Should have put Sawyer at quarterback.
They should have. Ethan Hall, maybe.
Listen, I don't think we would have needed that.
You're right. We wanted that. He already had a big head.
He'd be the quarterback at Alabama right now if that was the case.
That's true.
Here comes. They're moving back 5 yards. Iroquois now has put 5 guys up on the line. And Beasley's going to pooch kick it over to the far side. And it is bobbled, and it's still loose. And it looks like, I don't know who got it. Iroquois might have fallen on it. Well, I haven't seen an official signal over there. Have you, Caleb?
No.
But it looks like the defense is headed out there for Grayson County.
Yeah.
Iroquois somehow came down on it.
Mudd's coming off, so it'll be our ball.
It is Hanshaw's headed in. Colby's headed in. We've never seen an official signal, but it looks like Grayson County's going to have the football.
And that was a good place. There's the call.
There it is. Took them a while. 41.4. They tried the little pooch kick, and it works to perfection.
As soon as we say Lane's name, he puts a kick in a perfect position.
And it was bobbled on the play by Carly Dennis. And it ended up going Grayson County's way on it, and I think Conrad Raymond might have been the player that fell on it.
Yeah, there's about 5 over there.
On both teams.
Yeah.
Trips down near the near side. The running back Hanshaw to the left. It's Hanshaw up the middle. He's wrapped up the line of scrimmage. Carries, piles forward for a pickup of about 2 or 3 yards. Williams in on the tackle for Iroquois. He gets it to the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the gain, 2nd down and 8.
And I think that's an RPO right there, and there Colby has to pull it. The end step down on the zone.
And we're going to have a timeout taken on the far side by Iroquois with 18.2 seconds left in this first quarter. It's kind of an interesting timeout.
I don't like that timeout.
I would have assumed that they just would have taken it to the quarter, unless they just really saw something that they didn't like. We'll try to see if there aren't any other scores to bring you as we continue to scroll through. Owensboro leads Ohio County 7-0, 9:49 left in the first quarter as that game just got underway. At the end of the first quarter, Paducah Tillman leads Breckenridge County 28-0.
Wow.
South Warren, after Madisonville fumbles on the kickoff, is up 8-0 about a minute into that game. Now, if you're Grayson County, you are a big Madisonville fan in that game. Because if chalk holds, and what chalk means is that Grayson County, the number 1 seeds win in each. So that would mean that it would be Atherton, Grayson County, Bowling Green, or I guess not Bowling Green, it would be Owensboro and South Warren. No, sorry, Bowling Green.
Yep.
It would be Grayson County at Bowling Green in the third round of the playoffs. Now, if South Warren would beat Owensboro next week, then it would be at South Warren. So you're wanting one of those teams to get in there so Grayson County doesn't have to go to Bowling Green, South Warren, or Owensboro. Because I don't know about you, Kayla, I don't particularly want to go there.
No. I mean, I know some people from Bowling Green, so I would rather go there than anybody else. But
2nd down and 8 out of the timeouts. Chaffins to pass. He had the bubble screen, doesn't have it. Instead, it's going to go deep to Kenton Cornwell, who can't pull it in.
And that's a good miss. That's where you want to miss, long and outside.
And that's probably where you just see Kenton not quite as experienced as an outside wide receiver.
Yep.
That's a tough ball to locate.
That's a very hard ball to catch, over the shoulder like that, over your outside shoulder. But, Colby showed the arm strength there. That was about dropped back. You threw that from about the 45 down to about the 15. That's a 40-something yard throw to the sideline. So, I mean, that's over 50 in air yards.
11.1 on the clock in the first quarter. It's 21-0. Grayson County on top. They'll have it third down and about 8. Long 8, short 9. Fake the handoff to Handshaw. It's kept by Chaffins up the middle. He's to the 40, 35, 30, and he almost was going to hurdle a defender, but Williams went down low to tackle him by his shoestrings as he's down to the 28-yard line. It's a 19-yard gain.
And that's a good read. The defensive end went out with the stretch, pull it, get right underneath him.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play. Grayson County on top, 21-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-8338-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages. Our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran and disability employer.
Here to Grayson County High School, where the Cougs are up 21-0 as we start the second quarter of play. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker with you, as it'll be first down and 10 for Grayson County, placed on the Iroquois 28-yard line. And Grayson County made some mistakes in that first quarter of play and is still up 3 scores. That got to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
5 wide for Chaffins on first down and 10. Chaffins looks to the near side, floats it, end zone wide open, caught, touchdown, Grayson County. Jaron Van Meter pulls it in from 28 yards out, and the Cougs are up 27-0. Van Meter, I mean, that was no contest.
No, I mean, he was wide open. Yeah, I saw him on the double move, kind of did the stutter and go to the inside guy, and he got his feet stuck in concrete, and he was done for. And whenever they're that open, just throw it to where they can catch it. Don't try to make it perfect.
Lane Beasley on to attempt the extra point. He is 3 of 3 in this game. None of the snaps have been great. That one was. And Beasley put it through. Grayson County up 28-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
Are you ready to help your family get prepared for the unexpected? Here we go! Ladybug and Cat Noir know how important it is to be ready, because you never know when hawk moth is going to strike or a disaster will hit. And you don't need miraculous powers. Just put those planning skills you already have to good use. Make a plan that will help you and your family be ready when emergencies happen. Ready Kids can help. Get started at ready.gov/kids.
Are you looking for the best building materials in Litchfield? Look no further than Future Designs Building Materials. The builder's choice on Quarry Road has everything you need to build your dream home. Jim writes, I'm so glad I came to Future Designs for my new roof. The staff was so helpful and knowledgeable, and they made sure I got the right materials for my needs. Thanks, Jim. Future Designs is more than just a building materials store. Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Building on experience.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where Grayson County is on top of this game, 28-0, 11:53 left in the first half. Just a 28-yard touchdown pass from Colby Chaffins to Jaron Van Meter to put Grayson County up 28-0. Here comes the kick from Lane Beasley. This one he is going to boot deep, and we're going to have our, is it going to keep bouncing? And it is bobbled at the 1-yard line and picked up by Williams. Williams goes the wrong way, ball comes out, and Williams has it. He's going to go out of the back of the end zone. That's a safety for Grayson County. first safety of the season for the Cougars.
And that's a great job by Jaron stripping that. Great kick, letting it die at the 1. I don't know if you ask him, yeah, he means to do that, but I don't. That's a very hard thing to mean to do.
The safety, and now we're going to have a
punt.
Safety, it could be a kick or a punt. You can decide. We'll see what the Raiders will decide to do. That is the first safety for Grayson County. Muhlenberg County a couple of years ago, maybe, when it was 5-0?
Yep, I think so. I've always been wondering, can you onside kick a safety?
No,
I don't think you can.
It's a punt.
Yeah. You can.
So it's 30-0 Grayson County.
And this is a big chance to go up
and get the running
clock.
Get
the running clock, get the second string in, get them some playoff experience, and get your starters ready for next week. Let them celebrate tonight.
And here comes, they are going to kick it. It's a pretty good kick.
Yep.
Caught back by Hanshaw. He's going to take this one at about the 40-yard line as Hanshaw goes to the 50. Breaks right up the middle to the 40, to right up the middle to the 35, 30. One man to beat. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Grayson County. Running clock with 11:34 to go. Here in this second quarter of play, it is Caden Hanshaw on the, what about a 60-yard safety free kick return for a touchdown. Kayla, if you had a hot date tonight, you can call her. Maybe start it a little early tonight.
Well, unfortunately, I don't.
Well, you're not the only one.
It's okay.
It's the one to our left that we got to watch about that.
Yeah, I know.
And the extra point is good. Grayson County up 37-0. 11:34 and counting to play here in this second quarter play. It's Cougar football on K105.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors, helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes,
we get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Connection builds community. It grows the minds of future citizens and leaders. Connection teaches. It encourages. It builds confidence. Through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels. Connection says together, we can.
The one thing I know about Grayson County Schools, when you get the right people going in the right direction, anything's possible.
We are GC Connected.
Grayson County is up 37-0 with 11:34 left. My notes here, Kaylor, I've got white out, I've got highlighters as Lane Beasley's going to kick it away. This one's going to be caught back about the 8-yard line by Lanier, who's the quarterback. Lanier curls it over to the far side of the field as he hits the 20, and that's where he's going to be dropped. Iroquois' team is going to trot back out onto the field. Grayson County up 37-0, and we will have a running clock for the remainder of this football game.
Yep.
As Grayson County has the 36-point mark, and
we're going to get out of here early.
Barring
something
drastic, Grayson County will advance to the next round of the playoffs. Now, I've seen crazier things.
Yep.
And you can never be too confident.
I've seen some things where Thomas Edward Brady III.
As this game has been wild, as Jaron Van Meter had a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Grayson County fumbled. You remember at the 2-yard line. Caden Hanshaw had a 2-yard touchdown run. And then another 2-yard touchdown run. Grayson County was up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. And then just a wild sequence.
Within 2 minutes,
of, clock, in a sequence of 30 seconds of game clock as shifting in motion, that's going to blow the play dead as there is a penalty on the play. We remember that Grayson County had it at the 28-yard line of Iroquois to start the second quarter of play. First play, 7 seconds later, 28-yard touchdown pass from Colby Chaffins to Jaron Van Meter. Then Lane Beasley kicks it over the returner's head. The returner picks it up at the 1. Van Meter does a great job breaking up the play, and the ball ends up going out of the back of the end zone for a safety. So Grayson County was up 30-0, and then Caden Hanshaw returns the safety free kick for a touchdown to make it 37-0 and puts us in this running clock situation. It is 37-0 Grayson County. Garvin Samuels is out wide here to the near side. In the gun goes the quarterback Lanier. Now shifting out is Mosley. Trips down here to the near side, first down and 15. Screen throwing, and it is incomplete, intended for Garvin Samuels. He can't pull it in. A little high on the screen.
Yeah, very, very, more than a little. That was, he's lucky Jaron wasn't looking for it. Because if he was, he probably has another pick six.
Would have been the first defensive touchdown for Grayson County since
2000. No, we've had a defensive touchdown.
See if you can pull it out. I'll give you a minute and see if you can't get that. Or be our Cougar trivia question of the game. Sponsored by Kaylor Decker.
I don't got the money to sponsor that.
You think I do? Second down and 15. We'll say it's by Trey Cook, our director.
Fair enough.
He's going to sponsor the trivia question of the game. It's kept up the middle on the run. That's the little running back, Mosley. Up the middle, carries it to what was the original line of scrimmage to the 21. Grayson County up 37-0, 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter.
I think I got an answer for you.
You do? Okay.
Will it be Zach Bradger's pick six against Graves County?
If I had a buzzer, I would give it to you to say you're wrong. Because I think I saw the person who gets credit for it sitting out right outside the locker room earlier.
Chandler
McCready against Ohio County here in 2021.
Yeah, he did have a pick six.
It's okay, Chandler. That's him that got it wrong, not me.
Well, I was out that game, okay?
Lanier throws. It's incomplete. You were out that game. So we can give you – I think you were on the booth that game.
Had the headset on.
And I remember Coach Jones loved that.
He did.
Pass is incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down and long. 7.5 left here in this second quarter of play and counting. Grayson County up 37-0. The Raiders will punt. And another man is shifting on. At this point, even if you're at the officials, why are we going to, okay, he's going to put his hand up. I don't really know that we need to delay a game at this point. Just let him get it away. Not a bad punt.
No.
Van Meter's going to grab it at the Iroquois 41-yard line, makes one man miss. He curls down here to the near side to the 30. He has blockers in front of him as he goes to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Grayson County. 41-yard punt return for a touchdown by Jaron Van Meter.
And that was a great job. I don't know who laid the lead block right in front of him.
I want to say it was Mudd, Braden Mudd.
That was a heck of a block.
We'll say about 7 minutes left is when that touchdown happened. Or I don't know why they stopped the clock.
Yeah, it doesn't stop on anything.
.650 left here in this first half of play. Grayson County on top 43-0. Kaylor, I think your dad's seen enough.
Yeah.
Is this a record for his earliest time?
It's up there.
Good snap. Beasley got it. Lane Beasley putting it through the uprights. And Grayson County is up 44-0 with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left here in this first half of play. And I'll tell you, you know who's loving it more than anybody right now, Kaler?
Probably Mr. McGee.
Look at Mr. Spirit down there at the 50-yard line. He is loving it tonight. As in fact, he's having to go up there and join cheerleaders as well. You invite you to join us, too, at halftime as we will have a good Cougar conversation with Bruce Akeridge. He's a Cougar bus driver. Learning more about that. I know you might know his daughter, Marina. I believe you all graduated together, maybe?
No.
Or is she?
No, I think she's a year or two older.
Okay. She was a soccer player. I knew you all were in the same
area,
vicinity, but I'm old, Kaler, so I forget on those things.
Oh, it's okay. We sometimes forget my siblings' age.
Now, does your little brother play football?
Baseball.
Baseball. Okay. Is that his sport then?
Yes.
Can he beat you at baseball?
Yeah. He's not decided if he wants. He's thinking about playing football in high school, though.
Here comes the kick. And another weird bounce. Picked up by Lanier at the 10. He picked it up, and now he's got space to work as he breaks through the 20. One man to beat as he curls down the near side, but allows for the blockers to catch up. He just gets to the 37-yard line. If Lanier would have just hit it, he could have been. He's got good speed.
I don't know why he hesitated.
It was probably one of those things that he's like, wait, I got this much.
There's this much. There's no way.
Because what he did is he hesitated when he was on the ground, and he kind of was looking to see which way is whole without having the football, and that allowed Grayson County to hurry up. But weirdly enough, what he shouldn't have done ended up helping him.
Yep. And because you can kind of get them to over-pursue in that situation, and exactly what happened.
Back to the 39-yard line is where Iroquois is going to have it. See what the Raiders can do. Looks like you got still some starters out there for this Grayson County team. Mixed in with some of the younger guys.
I'd say you're going to keep your skill guys out for a little bit just because of the big play potential they do have.
Mosley pops out. Over the middle, pass deflected, almost intercepted. Sawyer Drake almost had a pick.
Man, I would have loved to see a big man interception. Give me a Vince Wilfork flashback.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Bengals center on – were you watching the Bengals 49ers game? It was a good game on Sunday afternoon. I wasn't sure if you were watching or not. Joe Burrow fumbled, and they called him down on the play, but the Bengals center picked the ball up and started running. And when he went back and watched the replay, he wasn't down. Like, the ball was out, so the center should have had a chance to run it. And he even, threw the stiff arm out to Fred Warner. Which he was talking after. He's like, yeah, it's probably not the guy you should try and stiff on.
Yeah, no, that's one of the best tacklers in the NFL.
Second down and 10. Pump fake. Lanier is hit all around the edge. Penalty flag comes in, and I think it is going to be a face mask. Weston Green came around the edge, and Lanier just braced for impact. And in the process, he's going to get a face mask penalty. Kaler, I didn't play quarterback, but I'd have to imagine that there is no lonelier position than what Lanier just felt, where he feels those footsteps coming from his blind side.
Yeah, I mean, it's even your pads, that's your weak spot because you got the lower back exposed. So, I mean, and you get a 200, 300-pounder coming in full speed. They put that face mask right in your lower back. It does not feel good.
Iroquois is going to get the ball now at the Grayson County 46-yard line. They're in positive territory. About 3 minutes left in this first half of play. Grayson County up 44-0. Lanier looks to the near side. He's going to let it fly. There's nobody there. Can Jet Hawkins catch up to it? He cannot to try and intercept it.
And
falling complete.
That's a couple times there's been some miscommunication on some routes between the receiver and the quarterback.
And a lot of that, too, has to go with Lanier's only started a couple of games this season. Building that trust, I mean, Kaler, you know as good as anybody. That's hard.
That's probably the most important thing a quarterback and a receiver have to do together.
And it's not something that I think most people realize either.
It takes years. me, Hunter, and Owen people don't realize the connection.
I mean, how many times did Hunter Toms catch one of your passes in practice?
It's probably close to the thousands, if not over.
And I don't think people realize just how much work goes into.
Because you have to think about that connection was being built in middle school, starting then.
Under center, it's a direct snap. Lanier, he tries to speed run around the edge, and he doesn't get the edge, and he's driven backwards. Nice play. As on that far edge, Kenton Cornwell was in there, as was it
Stephen
Lee? Yeah, I was going to say, I think Cornwell went low, and Lee went high to clean it up.
And as a quarterback, that does not feel good. Any ball carrier can tell you getting low and high at the same time, it's just a death wish.
90 seconds left in the first half of play. 44-0, Grayson County has the lead in the ball game. I see one score that's interesting here. One of the big games around the state, Glasgow leads McLean County 14-8.
McLean's had a good year.
They have. They're hosting. That game is in Calhoun tonight. And if McLean wins, it's set up the winner of that game more than likely is headed to Hart County. Wouldn't you love to watch Hart County, McLean County?
That's a physical game.
Lanier over the middle, floats it, and it is incomplete.
And I think our kicker, Lane Beasley, just got a QB hit.
Hey, I was going to say, I liked what I saw there from Jake Bratcher.
Yeah, just knock it down.
Knock it down. 4th down and long.
Yeah, it looks like Lane's out there at DN now.
I love it.
Yeah, reminds me of a similar kicker we had.
Who played DN?
Yeah.
Jackson Kane.
I think he would start games for us.
At halftime, make sure you stay tuned in and stay tuned in throughout the second half. You never know what might have happened in the second half of play. No. Somebody asked if they could come and join me, and I'm not sure whether we'll let them. I might let you make the call. No, it's not on the comments. It was somebody before the game. I don't know that I can let the person commenting. Ethan Hall on the mic. Here comes the punt.
You can.
It's picked up by 8 seconds left. Rolling down here to the near side, it's Jake Bratcher on the return. He's got a blocker in front of him. That's going to be a blindside block. Bratcher's going to go to the house, but it's going to be coming back after a big hit by Grayson County. Bratcher goes the distance. He thinks he's scored, but he's soon going to learn that he is not.
If you're going to do that, the only thing you can do is kind of run, put your hands up, kind of put your back to him. Because I think the rule is anything going towards or parallel to your goal line is a crackback.
It's not going to matter. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what the penalty is. I guess they're going to ask for if they want an untimed down, and I can't imagine why Iroquois would. Let's just take us into the half. Grayson County's going to have the lead at the half. We haven't seen the official signal from. It is a personal foul called against Grayson County. And the Cougars are headed to the locker room, and I presume Iroquois will do much of the same. Your score at the half, well, the officials, Grayson County don't have a team on the field, so we haven't seen, they're talking this over. There's 2 penalty flags in the play. I assume it's both on the same penalty.
Yeah, because, I saw it coming before it happened.
They're talking with Brian Jones right now.
To come back.
Yeah, I think they're going to run an untimed down.
I don't know how smart that is. Because it's offense. I mean, you're not getting the ball back if you're Iroquois.
And here's the thing. I'd imagine Grayson County's just going to take a knee.
Yeah, I mean, what is the point of doing it? The only thing there's no reward for doing this as Iroquois.
But I guess, you know what it is? They have to accept the penalty, and to accept the penalty, it has to be an untimed down. So it's either accept the penalty, an untimed down, or give up a touchdown. And they know that the untimed down is going to be a kneel.
So, smart play. Unless you want to take a shot and make them pay for it.
And the ball's going to be at the 20-yard line. And you're not taking a shot at this point.
No, there's no reason. Take a knee, get to half, get your backups in. Let them have some playoff experience.
on the field yet. I don't know who's going to take this snap under center.
I don't see Copley over here.
I think it's Van Meter that's going to take the snap. I mean, he's just going to throw a knee down. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you let it. And there it is. Let's throw this down. At the half, County leads 44-0. It's Cougar football on K105.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors, helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes,
We get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Who asked if I could be on?
Here we go. Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where it is the Grayson County Cougars on top 44-0 at the half. A wild first half of play. A lot happened, and I mean, we had technical problems. We had, this. We had that. We had a punt return for a touchdown. We had a safety punt return for a touchdown. We had a punt return for a touchdown that didn't count. I mean, Grayson County hasn't taken an offensive snap since the first play of the second quarter.
Yep.
That's honestly kind of wild. I'm not sure that I've ever.
And still 44 points.
And you're still up 44-0 with a turnover in the red zone as well.
Yeah.
I give a lot of credit to Iroquois, too. The kids are still playing. They're playing hard.
They're not giving up.
There's probably about 15 kids on their sideline, and you give them a lot of props because Coach Jones said in the interview there were a lot of teams that decided to forfeit their games, and they did not. They came out and they're playing, and you deserve a lot of credit for doing that. Grayson County leads 44-0 at the half. Coming up on our halftime show, we're going to have our Cougar conversation. We're going to talk to our good friend, and we hope yours, Mr. Bruce Akeridge. He is a school bus driver for Grayson County Schools. Learn more about his day-to-day job, and as I say, one of the first smiling faces a student sees every single morning. Take a break. That comes up more as this is the halftime show right here on K105.
I'm not here to fire you up. If you're not already fired up, you shouldn't be in this room. If this victory isn't worth all you have to give, then leave. But now, right now is your chance to be a part of a victory the world will remember forever. Victory over cancer. This victory isn't just happening. It isn't inevitable.
What does hope mean?
Now is our time, your time. You may save someone you love.
Time is very precious.
Today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. A victory that is there for the taking. Grab it. How was that?
Now that was a great halftime speech. Let's go win.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
The doctor said I had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor. But I knew you were out there. And when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at BeTheMatch.org.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease.
Welcome back to the halftime show here on K105. It's time for another edition of our Cougar Conversations. As you can see, we're on a school bus. We're talking with school bus driver Bruce Eckridge. And the first question I really wanted to get into is just the simple one, is how long have you been driving a bus, and really why was it something you wanted to do?
This is my 7th year of driving. As far as something I really wanted to do, I got into it probably for what most drivers do, is for the insurance, to help with the insurance side of it. After I started driving, I come to love it. It's really been the most enjoyable job I've ever had, actually. I really appreciate the school systems, as far as taking care of the bus. I mean, I drive the bus. The kids are well behaved. If you try to keep track on them, you gotta discipline them and so forth. But once you get to know the kids and everything, it's a very enjoyable job to have.
What does a typical day look like for you during the week?
Well, it's early rise every morning. This route starts at about 20 minutes till 7. Actually, it's one of the later routes to get started with, but it's just a few. This route here is probably only about 13 to 15 miles, something like that. So it's one of the shorter routes, but I do 2 loops. I drive to, I hit Wilkie and then the middle school. I go out to Lawler and then the high school. And then my day's pretty much finished, but in the mornings. And in the afternoons, pretty much the same thing. You run the routes back again, and I get home finished with the route somewhere around 15 to 4.
I was a bus rider pretty much from the minute I went to school until I realized that I could actually drive myself. And I remember that the relationships that I would have with the bus drivers, like I can still tell you that my first ever bus driver was Bob the bus driver. And because he would always smile, he knew us by name and so on. How important is it to you in building those relationships with the kids so they can remember you as one of their bus drivers?
Well, I do greet the kids every morning with a good morning and hello. I don't always get a response, but most of them will say hello, return a friendly gesture of some sort. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. As far as getting the kids on your side, is just being friendly with them. Try to earn their respect. If you respect them, generally you'll get that in return. I just think that if you treat them fairly, then they will respect you. And discipline is not near as hard if you can get on their side.
One of my favorite questions to always ask anyone when talking about their job is benefit, and the benefit to you in working in this. I know everyone appreciates a job that when they go home at night, they think, I made a difference in whatever it might be. How does this benefit you when you go home at night knowing that you had a hand in impacting these students?
Well, that is one of the things I guess that's enjoyable about it, is the relationship you have with the students. And I try not to be a psychiatrist, work out all their problems, but sometimes they'll come up and they'll have, you can just tell that they're disturbed. I had a little boy the other day that was crying, and I asked him what was wrong. I sat down here beside him. I try to not talk above him. I try to sit down beside him, figure out little problems like that, and we just talked. I just said, well, try to maybe talk to your mom and dad about it and that sort of thing. And I said, and then you got friends on the bus. And I said, anytime you need to talk to me, I'll be here. But that's something that I enjoy. I try to teach, not necessarily instill Christian values, but I try to tell them as far as their behavior on the bus, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And I said, generally you get along pretty good when you do that.
I know you also get to drive students after school as far as extracurricular activities. You drive cross country, you drive band. What is it like? And I've always wondered this, like the band, I know a couple of weeks ago had a huge win at a competition. What are those bus rides like back home?
Oh my goodness, kids! You'd think that they would be tired from a long day like that, but no, they're energetic. They may sleep on the bus a little bit, but they're excited about it. Especially the other night when we came back from the band competition, and we had an escort from the parkway around the courthouse and everything, and they were just so excited about that. And I really appreciate the public getting involved. There were several around the courthouse that greeted them when we came back, and it was around, oh goodness, was it around 12 o'clock or so? I mean, it's pretty late.
It was a really late night with that. I know the school district is always looking for school bus drivers to help join you in driving students. What would you say to someone who is watching this right now and saying maybe they're retired or looking for some extra money, somehow it might be? What would you say to them on what it would mean for you to help have them join, but then also how do they become a bus driver?
Well, I have talked to others about driving a bus, and I say, when, if they'll say, well, I've got some downtime or something like that, I said, you need to drive a school bus and see how you'd like that. And I said, most people are a little bit intimidated by the bus. It's a big vehicle, and but I tell them, it's a easy vehicle to drive. Once you learn the ins and outs about it, I said it's one of the safest vehicles you'll ever drive. I said, yeah, you got all those youngins behind you, and they may be throwing parties and everything, but you got a mirror up there trying to keep them under control. But it is got good visibility. You're with the mirrors and so forth. So it's a pretty easy vehicle to drive. Don't be intimidated by the size of it. But there again, it's as far as the testing and so forth, it's not that difficult. It's a little bit of memorization. You gotta walk around the bus and do an inspection, starting from front to back, inside and out. And so there's a little bit of memorization to it. That may be a little bit of intimidating, but it did take me a while to get through that. I mean, I didn't get it right away. I don't remember exactly how long I was, probably 6 weeks maybe to get it all down. But once you get it in your head and get figured out, then you take a written test. You pass that. You go on to the department there, and then they will have an official ride with you, and you pass that, and you come on in, and you start out as a sub driver and whether it's you get a full-time position, that's really hard too, as far as the being a sub driver, because you got all these routes that you don't know where you're going, especially if you're not from the county. If you're from the county, it's not so hard, but if you're not from this area, yeah, that can be a bit intimidating. But we got a radio on there, and a lot of bus drivers will help them out and say, hey, I'm down this road, I don't know where to go from here. And so some of the other drivers will coach you through and get you right back to where you need to be. And so it's a like I say, it's a very friendly group of people to work with.
It's great. If you're interested in potentially becoming a bus driver, be sure to contact, I know, Braxton Allen at the school district. He'll be able to help you out and get you set. I appreciate you taking the time. It's really good learning all about the buses and really the first smiling face that some of the students see every morning. We'll take a break and have more on the halftime show after this, as this has been another edition of Cougar Conversations on K105.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day, a movement toward life-saving resources, movement toward advancing research and care, movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
Connection builds community. It grows the minds of future citizens and leaders. Connection teaches, it encourages, it builds confidence through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all. Together, we can.
The one thing I know about Grayson County Schools, when you get the right people going in the right direction, anything's possible.
We are GC Connected.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where it is a Grayson County lead, 44-0 at the half. We will have a running clock for the remainder of this game. Iroquois is just now retaking the field. Grayson County still in the nice warm locker room down there.
Yeah,
and I will say, Kaylor, we both stepped out. Good crowd here tonight.
Yes, really good. I think that whole concrete section of the bleachers are filled.
And really, the upper bleachers are pretty much full as well.
And there's people standing on the track, still in the tailgate area.
I don't know that we have a camera that shows off our crowd or not, or we can maybe get one that shows it. But it is a great night here showing off. There you go. If you're watching on K105 Digital Productions, you can see the crowd. It's a big crowd here tonight. Maybe a nice pan across to show off everybody that's come out to support the team. And here's the biggest thing as well. If you're not here and you're watching and you live close, they need you next week.
Yes, because that's going to be much tougher.
And if not, lock in with us because we'll have it for you. I know we got some that can't get out or it's lived too far, and I think somebody just fell there on the bleachers, Kayla. I hope they're okay. I don't know. Is your football player? I don't know. He just decided to fall. Well, I guess that really wasn't very smart, was it now? Grayson County up 44-0 as we get ready to start the second half of play. Really quick, the score to bring you that matters more than anything. Fairdale leads North Bullitt 14-6 the half. Grayson County, barring one of the biggest comebacks in state history, will host the winner of that game next week. Second half's next here on K105.
Are you looking for the best building materials in Litchfield? Look no further than Future Designs Building Materials. The builder's choice on Quarry Road has everything you need to build your dream home. Jim writes, I'm so glad I came to Future Designs for my new roof. The staff was so helpful and knowledgeable, and they made sure I got the right materials for my needs. Thanks, Jim. Future Designs is more than just a building materials store. Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Building on experience.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
Pursuing a purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages. Our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran and disability employee.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help. You can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Grayson County will do it. They have made a couple of changes as well. The second half of play will only be Well, 8-minute quarters for the remainder of this game. I guess the
refs are the only ones not ready.
And I'm assuming that they were probably being told 8-minute quarters or something with that. Well, we'll be out of here in probably about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It will be Grayson County to kick away. Grayson County does have a lot of their starters who are now out. They are now in street clothes. Jaron Van Meter I saw is in street clothes.
And Colby
Chaffins is. Jaden Kinney.
Just about every starter.
Matthew Phillips, I like, is just lounging on the bench. The kick is bobbled at the 20 and just falling down on top of it at the 23-yard line. And here comes Iroquois back out to run with the ball. They trail 44-0. Here as we start the third quarter play. And Grayson County's not taken an offensive snap in a long time.
No.
Now, special teams has been a big reason for that.
And special teams can win you games. And I'm not saying special teams is the only reason we won this game, but it's made this lead much bigger.
First down and 10. Ball placed on the 24-yard line. Iroquois in no rush.
Already past a minute.
And at this point,
yeah, just try to get them out of here.
Nobody is going to complain.
No, either side.
It'll be first down and 10 for Iroquois, placed in their own 24-yard line as we are now over a minute in. At minute 15, you can tell these officials haven't started a clock or anything.
Yeah, they just won't let it go.
Rolling out, new quarterback into the game. That's Colleon Williams as he looks and tries to find the edge and is slung down out of bounds by Stephen Lee on the far side of the field. Lee just ran in step with Williams, who is quick, but Stephen Lee is very quick as well.
Yes, he is. And if we can kind of get him more experience, which this game is going to be a great for that and his development, to see him kind of succeed in a playoff environment, that's huge.
Bring up second down and 12. Here for Iroquois. Still in no rush. Grayson County well in control. Rolling out is Williams. He'll throw into the flat. It's incomplete. Broken up on the far side of the field by Stephen Lee again.
Yep.
We've called his name a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Now, one was a bad play.
Yeah, one was not for a good reason.
But he's bounced back. Played well
Has
since
a couple
that point.
pass breakups.
Bring up third down and 12 here for Iroquois. Ball placed on the 23-yard line. Get to see Jake Bratcher into the game at quarterback after this.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen some good things from him.
Yes.
He played well against Breck, where he had the long touchdown pass to, I was about to say Dane Hawkins. Wasn't Dane. It was Jet. Williams. Like he might be setting up the screen. He's got a player wide open, and a diving attempt at the catch could have been pulled in by Carly Dennis. He was wide open, tried to curl back, and if he'd have caught that,
that's on the corner.
He could have had a house call.
Yeah. Corner's responsible. The
was
corner,
it Jet Hawkins down there?
The corner and the safety both have to see that. The corner is supposed to technically take it, but the safety's really supposed to be the bailout guy and be there anyways.
Fourth down and long. Iroquois is going to punt here with 4 minutes left.
I would expect us to play this safe, not really try a return.
No, there's no point now.
No.
Fair catch or something.
Just let it go.
Short kick. It takes a big bounce. And there, Grayson County is just going to watch it go. And Iroquois is going to drop it at their own 45-yard line. That's where this Grayson County offense is going to come back out onto the field. Up in the game 44-0. And we are going to see Jake Bratcher as the starting quarterback. And it looks like we're going to see Robinson as the running back. And Ethan Mudd. It does trot in there. It's placed in the Iroquois 45-yard line. First down and 10. Offset I formation. Robinson is the fullback, wearing those long white sleeves, as is Ethan Mudd. Cougars from left to right. It's a pitch to Mudd, and he's dropped. He might have run into one of his own offensive linemen, and nice down-the-hill tackle made on the play by LaRon Jackson. It's one of the best defensive plays of the game made by Iroquois.
Did a really good job sealing that edge and driving the perimeter back.
And Jackson was the player we talked about in the open of being their leading tackler on defense as a freshman. You can tell. Right there, that's...
He's one of their bigger guys, too.
And he's a freshman. And he's one of those that, if he's a freshman, you can hope that he continue to grow into his body more, develop, and you can see this Iroquois team, they've got some pieces.
They have the pieces, yes.
And I hope that Keith May
can put it all together.
It's their 5th head coach in 6 years. That's tough
on
for a
any
program.
School. It doesn't matter how talented you are.
In the eye. Bratcher looks. Maybe going to check. And maybe a hard count, and it fooled everybody.
It's a good hard count. You can see everybody pressed up like that.
Did you have a saying like?
Yeah,
I
would do colors. So if it was green or gold, I was going on the first one. Red, orange, I was going on the second one. That, or I would say tank or Ferrari. Well, false start.
Interesting.
I think it would have been on that left side.
It doesn't particularly matter at this point with minute 45 left in the third quarter of play. We're going to set the state record for quickest third quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, we blinked and we're almost at a minute to go here in the quarter.
Not even almost 2 full series down. A series in a play, actually.
I like the most the fans have stayed.
Yeah.
Some of them have decided to go in, and they might be listening to us right now.
Why not stay? I mean, you're going to be able to be a part of a after-game playoff victory thing.
Something that doesn't happen often here. Bratcher scrambles, and he's sacked. Big loss on the play, as it was Williams in there to make contact first, along with Nishimwe. And Coach Brian Jones, it doesn't matter if you're up big. He's letting his team have it.
It was. I think it was a screen. So in that situation, if it's not there and you're Jake, don't try to make something bad worse, because more often than not you will. Just take it, spike it at his feet, counts as incomplete pass. You don't lose anything. 3rd
down and 31 will come up here for Grayson County.
Yeah,
you got a 3rd and 31 play in the playbook for your JV team?
I do, but it's not. It's risk. It's
not when you're up 40-40
success rate.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's not very high.
Low snap. Bratcher's got it. He's going to let it fly. He's got Jet Hawkins down the near side, but overthrew him a little bit. Hawkins was open.
Yeah, he was beat.
That's the thing with Jet Hawkins is if your name's
fly.
Jet,
Yeah.
you got to be able to run. Well, that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter of play. It's 44-0 Grayson County. We head to the 4th after this. Cougar football on K105.
We had an MRI, and then all of a sudden this doctor comes in and he says to us, we have the potential here for a catastrophic event.
And he looked scared.
He looked terrified. And he's like, we got to operate now. It just all changed. Life changed.
Bryce is one of the 47 children per day who are diagnosed with cancer. Today's treatments aren't enough. To watch the rest of Bryce's story, visit childrenscancer.org/story.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day. A movement toward life-saving resources. Movement toward advancing research and care. Movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School. We start the 4th quarter of play. Grayson County will punt here again. We're in 8-minute quarters for the remainder of this game. And Lane Beasley will punt it away here. The Cougars will pick up the win. Presumably the final score will be 44-0. They got to get the chain gang.
Stay disciplined on.
I'm not sure what the chain gang's doing here. What are we doing?
Well, it's still technically 4th and 31, so they got to be right.
Oh, they do, yep. I was wondering what they were doing, but that makes sense as to what they were doing.
In the rare event we go for this, but you wouldn't.
You're not going 4th and 31 if you're down by 40. Good
No.
punt by Lane Beasley. How about the hang time on that? It's a fair catch, and it's down at the 41-yard line.
You know you're in a bad situation whenever the punt doesn't even get the first down.
But what a punt.
Yeah,
I mean
if
the
that
hang
was-
time on that was
in the air for 4 or 5 seconds. And that, you know, it's a long 4th down whenever the punt can't even cover it.
and it wasn't like it was a bad
No,
punt. For the, like,
especially when it's a good punt.
Grayson County is going to advance in the KHSAA playoffs for the first time since 2018. It'll only be their 8th win in the playoffs in program history. They will host either Fairdale or North Bullitt next week at Cougar Stadium. It'll be a 6:30 Central Time start as well here from Grayson County High School. First down and 10. Iroquois is going to have it at their own 41-yard line. Rolling out is Williams. Looks to scramble, and he does. He hits the hole, and he's got it up that far side before scurrying out of bounds at about the 46 or 7-yard line. We're going to have to see where they're going to feel.
Got to contain.
And let's say the 46. About a 5-yard run there on the scramble for Williams.
Got to keep contained. And I'd expect to start seeing a lot of subs.
Second down and 4. 6 minutes and counting left in the game. Grayson County up 44-0. Man pops out of motion. That was, again, the running back, Mosley. Setting up the screen. Now we're looking to run. Ball comes out, and just smartly falling on it is Williams. Nice job putting his paw in there to knock it away.
Lane.
Was it Lane Beasley?
Yep.
It was. Tell you what. I don't know who our offensive player of the game is going to be, but Lane Beasley might like, he's perfect on his PATs.
Mm-hmm.
Can we make that decision in the he is on our list. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
We will make the decision in post game. But I think he's on our list
Because he contributes to the amount of points.
without question.
And contributes to how many possessions we get.
And last week, if it wasn't for him,
We don't win.
you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Third down and 11. Shifting out is Mosley. Iroquois to pass. Williams, he's going to set up the screen on the far side, and big hit by Grayson County out of bounds on the play, being dropped for a loss. Stephen Lee in there on the tackle for Grayson County. And he'll drop it back here to the, looks like the 37-yard line. And if I'm Iroquois, go for it. Why not? You're 4th down and 14. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, what do you have to lose?
Grayson County's, it's not like they're going to start airing it out.
No.
They're going to probably almost throw, in fact, they can just kneel it out if they want to. With the running clock and everything. 4th down and long here for Iroquois. Mosley shifts in motion. All alone is the quarterback, Williams. Grayson County on the blitz. Williams is going to run. He's got space down the near side. He's not going to get the first down and just runs out of bounds. Grayson County up 44-0. We'll take a quick break. It's Cougar football on K105.
No matter what you're up against, we have your back.
We are United Way.
We are neighbors helping neighbors.
In communities around the world, when disaster strikes,
We get you back on your feet.
We help children build brighter futures.
We've been here for over 135 years.
But now, our work is more important than ever.
Join us.
Join your neighbors.
Join United Way.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages.
Grayson County has it, first down and 10 at the own 41-yard line. Ethan Mudd, another nice tackle again made there by LaRon Jackson. Mudd on the run. Ethan Mudd on the run gets just 1 yard as LaRon Jackson
did a good
comes
job.
in to make the tackle.
The fullback has to be able to shed that.
Because they've shut Mudd down, and teams really have not done that at all this season. Ethan Mudd, the running back,
I'd say
34 attempts for 206 yards, and looks like a substitution. They're going to take
that's
Mudd
a good
out.
call. Take him out. He's your starting linebacker.
44-0, Grayson County on top in the football game. They're going to win today. Grayson County is now 10-1. Only the second team in program history as there's a run spinning out as Stephen Lee's to the 35-30. Tackle in front of him, but he's not going to get him. Touchdown, Grayson County. Stephen Lee from 40 yards out. And for Lee, his first career rushing touchdown.
Man, it was a good one. And to have it happen in the playoffs.
That makes it 50-0, Grayson County. They'll try to make it 51. And they're going to have to keep running this clock here with 2 minutes to go. Lane Beasley has been perfect on his extra points today. Jake Bratcher is the holder. Lane Beasley, the right-footed kicker. The kick is long enough, and he put it through.
Perfect.
Grayson County up 51-0, minute 30 to go. This is Cougar football on K105.
We had an MRI, and then all of a sudden this doctor comes in and he says to us, we have the potential here for a catastrophic event.
And he looked scared.
He looked terrified. And he's like, we got to operate now. It just all changed. Life changed.
Bryce is one of the 47 children per day who are diagnosed with cancer. Today's treatments aren't enough. To watch the rest of Bryce's story, visit childrenscancer.org/story.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
Grayson County will kick it away in what will be the final play of this football game. And Lane Beasley's going to kick it as far as he can. And it's caught back at about the 15-yard line by Ahmad Hussein. Hussein's to the 20, now curls back to the far side, and he's tackled on the play. I like that Lane Beasley was being double-team blocked in the back up front. And that'll wrap us up here. 2 seconds, 1 second. And for only the 8th time in program history and the first time since 2018, the Grayson County Cougars have won a playoff game. Grayson County advances to the second round. They will play either Fairdale or North Bullitt next week here at Cougar Stadium. Again, your final score. Grayson County defeating Iroquois 51-0. This is Cougar football on K105.
The doctor said I had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor. But I knew you were out there. And when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at BeTheMatch.org.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day, a movement toward life-saving resources. movement toward advancing research and care, movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Are you looking for the best building materials in Litchfield? Look no further than Future Designs Building Materials. The builder's choice on Quarry Road has everything you need to build your dream home. Jim writes, "I'm so glad I came to Future Designs for my new roof. The staff was so helpful and knowledgeable, and they made sure I got the right materials for my needs. Thanks, Jim." Future Designs is more than just a building materials store. Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Building on experience.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Grayson County Cougars have defeated the Iroquois Raiders tonight by a final score of 51-0. We'll come back. Fifth quarter show is next here on K105.
Are you ready to help your family get prepared for the unexpected? Here we go! Ladybug and Cat Noir know how important it is to be ready, because you never know when Hawkmoth is going to strike or a disaster will hit. And you don't need miraculous powers. Just put those planning skills you already have to good use. Make a plan that will help you and your family be ready when emergencies happen. Ready Kids can help. Get started at ready.gov/kids.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
Look around your home, and there's probably something that was made right here in Litchfield. Leggett & Platt is a worldwide corporation making a wide range of products, including sofa sleeper and reclining hardware assemblies here at home. A portion of your Ashley, Lazy Boy, or England furniture might have been made by one of your neighbors. Join the Leggett & Platt team today. We're a one-shift operation with competitive wages. Our motto is, we work hard so you can rest easy. Leggett & Platt is an equal opportunity, affirmative action, veteran and disability employer.
The governor has declared a state of emergency, and evacuation is now underway as the storm approaches. The National Weather Service has issued a warning as it monitors this storm. Move the following counties therefore should seek.
Convoy of Hope is ready to help you prepare for the next storm. Visit convoy.org/prepare.
Some days are just better than others.
I think you should go talk to someone.
It's not that easy.
Have you been thinking about suicide? You can talk to me, Dad.
It's been a tough couple of months.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Connection builds community. It grows the minds of future citizens and leaders. Connection teaches. It encourages. It builds confidence through relationships, through partnerships, through small daily acts, through high-impact programs at all levels.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Grayson County Cougars have defeated the Iroquois Raiders tonight by a final score of 51-0. Sam Gormley and Kaylor Decker back here with you in the booth. And Kaylor, it's a good win here for this Grayson County team because, I mean, listen, Iroquois, they did what they should have done.
Yes, and that's all you can ask for in this situation. Don't do more, don't do less. Just get out of here with a win, move on to next week. And that's exactly what they did without any injuries, which is a big part.
That's exactly the point that I wanted to make, is that the biggest thing with this is that from what we can tell, nobody got hurt. And really everybody's fresh and rested, which is very important as well. Moving into, next week is...
It's going to be tough.
It is. It's going to be a tough game. We'll see if I can't find a quick score update from that game. As at the end of the third quarter, Fairdale leads North Bullitt 27-6 at the end of the third quarter. That game is happening in Fairdale, so if that result holds, Fairdale will come here to Grayson County next week. Now, if North Bullitt comes back and wins, then North Bullitt will still come here. Grayson County defeats Fairdale, or not Fairdale, tonight. They defeat Iroquois tonight by the final score of 51-0. I thought I saw Coach Jones making his way up. I'm going to try and flip off our light to see if we can actually see out the window. I thought I saw him walk off the field, but I'm not entirely sure, Kaylor.
He could be with his wife right now.
That's a little bit more important than us. I can't disagree with that. I was getting ready to go to break thinking that he was going to be making his way up. Is he talking to his...
He's talking to people on the track right now.
Okay. Well, he'll make his way to us at some point. Hopefully he doesn't forget about it. I see him now. He's hiding down there. I think he's talking to some of his former players.
Yeah, it's Will Scott, Tanner Finley.
I think Chandler was in that group a little bit. As he's talking to them, getting probably their thoughts on what was a great Grayson County win. While he's doing that, we'll try to see if there aren't any other scores to bring you really quick. As I do the scroll around, E-Town leads Garrett County 16-0 in the third quarter. Owensboro is up 60-0 early fourth quarter against Ohio County. McLean County has come back to lead Glasgow 32-22 at the half. Big game happening there in Calhoun. It's a tough draw for Glasgow, too, of all places to go. That's not an easy place to play. We were there last year, and the cowbells were hard for us, let alone for other places. I'm trying to see. My high school was in action, too, Kaylor, and I know nobody cares except for me, but actually it semi-does matter because at least it's a 5A playoff game. So I mean,
there's a chance.
There's a chance. I did do the math, and really, from what I can understand, is unless some weird happens, the only way that Grayson could play the Fighting Cooper Jaguars would be the state championship game. Now, that for me would
be a tear it apart game.
It would be. I don't know who I'd be cheering for, as it'd be tough. In fact, Cooper's won 42-8 against Collins, so is who they beat today. The Fighting Chris Gaithers in that game, even though Chris Gaither doesn't.
He's all basketball guy.
Yes, he is, and a darn good one.
Yes, he is.
Grayson County wins. Final score, they've turned the scoreboard off, but it was 51-0 was the final score. We'll take a break and maybe talk to Coach Jones after this. Maybe we'll talk to Kinley Jones, too. I think she's walking with him as well. Who knows? We'll talk to maybe one of the Joneses after this. This is Cougar Football on K105.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help. And you
back here to Grayson County High School, where the Grayson County Cougars have defeated the Iroquois Raiders tonight by a final score of 51-0. We are now joined by both head coach Brian Jones and Kenley Jones. Coach took care of business.
Yeah.
I don't know that here. Well, 1 second. I don't know that you are working here. Let me try this. Technology has not been our friend tonight. Now you probably can't hear anything. We're going to try and work on this. Let's try it this way.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you now. That's not good. Well, you don't want that. Kaylor, you want to?
Yeah.
We're going to do it that way. Technology doesn't want to work that way. I don't know. It's been that kind of night, at least on our realm. Luckily, it wasn't that kind of night for your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think, we did what we had to do. I would have liked to not seen us fumble, down there inside the 5, and had a couple of penalties. And, some of it just comes with the play of the game. We had the face mask. It happens sometimes if you tackle a little high, that guy's low to the ground. But outside of that, I think our guys handled the situation well. We were able to get everybody on the field that was dressed tonight, and that's not something that you get to experience in the playoffs. And very, very pleased. And we get another week in this season, which is something that you always got to be happy with and excited about. And because at this point you lose and you go home, and so. Any win in the playoffs is something to be proud of, excited, happy, all those things. And so we are at that, and, we'll see who we get in the next round.
Colby tonight officially did pass that 1,000-yard mark. It's a heck of an accomplishment. It's the first time since 1986 that a Grayson County quarterback has done that.
Wow. He's just, he's done a really good job growing in the game, really maturing mentally more than anything. I think he's always had a lot of tools, a strong arm, and different things like that. But the mental aspect of the game, I think, has probably been where we've seen him grow the most through this season, gaining confidence, making some big reads and throws. And so, we're going to need him as we continue down this road. To make some throws and some plays for us. And he made a couple of good ones tonight. He had a couple of them that he underthrew a little bit, but he made, one of his incompletions was probably one of his best throws. We ran the little wheel route, and it's not easy to adjust to those balls as a receiver, but it was as good as ball as probably you could throw and want in that situation. It was to the outside. It was a little long. It's just a tough adjustment for a receiver, but, that was a well thrown ball.
I know Kaylor and I were talking. We haven't decided officially on who our player of the game is, but one of our leading candidates is a guy who's really been, I think, an unsung hero for your team this year. That's Lane Beasley.
Yeah, I was really happy to see him, be 100% tonight. A couple weeks ago, probably 2 weeks ago, his dad came to me and said, "Coach, we got an opportunity to bring a guy in to work with him one-on-one. The only downside is it's going to be during practice." And he said, I wanted to talk with you first, but, we got this chance for this guy to come out of Murray that runs some kicking camps, and he's willing to work with Lane. And I said, man, let's do it. I said, I'm all for a guy wanting to get better. And he spent 2 hours out here with that guy working on punting, kickoffs, field goals, you name it. And he knows far more about the intricacies. No.
I know Max Duffy does those, and he's down at Murray as well, former UK punter. Ray Guy Award winner.
Yeah, I don't remember. This guy's last name was Sang.
Okay.
He used to be down at Greenwood at one time. He actually knew Coach Reese and talked about his time working with her. But, they spent and immediately we seen a difference in him. When he kicks the ball, it sounds different. He's really striking it well. So super excited to see him see some success. Because he's a guy that's just dying to be good at his job. And so really, really happy to see him have that kind of night because, we've had some issues that weren't necessarily his fault throughout the season. Not having the best snaps or a bad snap leads to a bad hold and various things like that. But tonight, he really, did well. I mean, he did a really, really good job.
The crowd tonight, from the Cougar walk to the full game, pretty great, wasn't it?
Oh, it was absolutely awesome. I stepped out back shortly after 4 o'clock and was expecting to see a couple of people maybe already over there. And, there was 20 tents and a bunch of vehicles. And I was like, wow, this thing's going to probably be a little bit bigger than I anticipated. And then when we made the walk, it was about dead silent until we got kind of behind the press box, and then I heard the music kick on, and I was like, man, this is getting ready to be a pretty cool experience. And we turned the corner down there past the greenhouse, and both sides of the road are lined and all the way to the track. And we got down here and started warming up. I asked a few guys, I was like, what'd you think of that? And they're like, man, that was just absolutely awesome. Why don't we do this every game? And I was like, well, that would be awesome. And I'll be honest, I want to throw it out there now, and hopefully we can start selling this and pitching it like we did this last week. I'd like to see us do the same thing again. I know a couple of our parents are talking about instead of doing burgers and hot dogs, maybe doing chili next week. And but I'd like to see us do another Cougar walk and another tailgate and, get this crowd like it was, because it was an electric atmosphere to start this game. And, man, there's nothing better than high school football on a Friday night underneath the lights, in my opinion. I think college football is good at times when you get the right matchups. I don't really thoroughly enjoy the NFL at all. So for me, this is the game at its purest. As a coach, you got the players that live in your neighborhoods. We're not going down to Georgia and recruiting a 5-star athlete. We got our guys, born, bred, raised, Grayson County kids, that have grown up, for most of them, being Cougars. And so to see them succeed and, the things that we have achieved and that kind of stuff, to me, I think it's more difficult because, like I said, you got what you got. So to see them mature, grow up, when I got in this district, when we moved here, a lot of these guys, our seniors, were 5th graders, so they were elementary kids. A lot of them were probably running around here on Friday nights. And, I think they're laying some groundwork, hopefully, for this program, to continue to succeed. But to me, there's nothing better than a Friday night under the lights in your hometown, first round of the playoffs, 51-0. I mean, that's pretty special.
Kinley, do you have a question for your dad? Not really. I was going to say, usually it's Kaylor, but Kaylor doesn't have the headset. She's a little closer to you. So I'll ask you, I can tell you right now, we haven't seen an update come through in about 20 minutes, but Fairdale is up 27-6 at the end of the third quarter.
Okay.
That result holds. That's who you got. Next week, even if it's North Bullitt, it doesn't particularly matter. You got a game coming up next week.
Yep.
That is, no disrespect to Iroquois, is a more difficult opponent.
Absolutely.
How do you, take what you had tonight, the good things, and come in with fresh legs next week and get the opportunity to advance to the third round of the playoffs for only the second time in program history?
Well, it's going to take, laser focus, great preparation. We need to be as healthy as we can be. But they're going to be, to me, without seeing very much of them, like your Moores and your Senecas, and they're going to have the makeup to beat just about anybody. And we're going to have to be very disciplined. It's going to take a great football game. And the one thing Fairdale's got going for them is, they spent the last couple of years as district champs and district runner-ups and winning around in the playoffs and, doing some different things. This is all uncharted territory for these kids. I'll be honest with you, this is the second time for me making it to the second round. The year we had Q-Darius and went down to Graves County was my first time getting out of the first round of the playoffs. This is the second time for me. And so, it's there's going to be some newness to the situation, but we've got to prepare like we always have. We've had a routine all season long. Our Mondays have been the same. Our Tuesdays and Wednesdays have been the same, and we basically do the same thing on Thursday. We got to stick to that routine. It's not did us wrong yet. And I think, the key for us has been on this 9-game winning streak has been physicality. I think there's in those 9 games, like I said before, Hancock might be the only game that we were out physicaled. And, we got to be the hammer next week and, have a really, really high level execution. And, but, like I told the guys, why not us? Why not Grayson County? We've got to believe, and I think, we've got a group of guys right now that believe they can achieve and believe they can play with anybody. And, the mental aspect of it is huge. And so I know I'll spend a lot of time watching a lot of film and trying to have these guys as ready as they can be to, achieve an opportunity or to achieve of matching the 882 team with 11 wins. I think that would be absolutely huge. And so for the last 9-10 weeks, I like how we're playing. So we just got to stick to it. And, hopefully we come out and got a huge crowd and execute really high level. And because that's what it takes in the playoffs. I mean, you got to execute and you got to be disciplined. And I think, can't give up big plays and things like that. But, our defense is as good as any. So we, whoever it is, we'll be ready.
Well, here, I'll do one more refresh to make sure one didn't come in as we were talking. It has not yet, so I'm sure it'll come in at some point. I do want to say, too, I like the why not us. And I know that the Cincinnati Bengals, when they went on their Super Bowl run, they changed it about halfway through and said, it is us.
Yeah.
And I like that, too. I like the line, why not us, because why not when you line up, anything can happen.
That's right, absolutely. I do want to say that, I hope, people grasp the magnitude of the work that goes into these kids achieving this. And by work, I mean these kids. This goes all the way back to last February, winter workouts and different things like that, and the sacrifices. There's a lot of kids that spend evenings, hanging out up at the Hardee's or different things like that, and these kids are in the weight room and on the track and different things like that. And so it's nice to see the crowd as big as it is, because I think, it shows some appreciation for the work that goes into what they've been doing. And, that goes for these coaches too. Time away from family and different things like that. My youngest right now is in Birmingham, Alabama, playing in the Fall World Series, and they won 8-0 tonight. And we're going to hop in the vehicle tomorrow morning after a middle school basketball game and try to get down there for the remainder of the tournament. But it takes a lot of people, pulling in the same direction for these things to work out this way. Our parents, that bend over backwards to bring food in for these kids 5 days a week. We've always got food and different things and getting them here. And so there's a lot of thank yous that need to be given, and a lot of gratitude and appreciation for all the people that put in time, effort, money, the churches that have fed us pregame. I don't want this to sound like this is the end of the season, because like our second mantra of the year has become, we ain't done yet.
I like it. Coach, we ain't done yet. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
That's head coach Brian Jones. Grayson County wins tonight by a final score of 51-0. We'll come back and wrap it up after this. This is Cougar Football on K105.
Are you looking for the best building materials in Litchfield? Look no further than Future Designs Building Materials. The builder's choice on Quarry Road has everything you need to build your dream home. Jim writes, "I'm so glad I came to Future Designs for my new roof. The staff was so helpful and knowledgeable, and they made sure I got the right materials for my needs. Thanks, Jim." Future Designs is more than just a building materials store. Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield. FDBM.net.
Building on experience.
For the more than 1 million people living with Parkinson's disease, the Parkinson's Foundation celebrates movement at Moving Day. A movement toward life-saving resources. Movement toward advancing research and care. Movement toward a better life. We care. We fight. We move to beat Parkinson's. Move with us at movingdaywalk.org.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabbard, internal medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
When I found out my son was addicted to opiates, I didn't know where to turn. Now I know there's help, and you can call, whether you're a family member, a sibling, or the person with the addiction. And the number is 1-833-8-KY-HELP. Call for the resources. They're going to help you with compassion and care and the knowledge of what's available to get you the help you need.
Welcome back here to Grayson County High School, where the Grayson County Cougars have defeated the Iroquois Raiders tonight by a final score of 51-0. Kaylor, sorry about that. This machine here, it has a mind of its own sometimes.
Yes, it does.
And it decided to have a mind of its own tonight. So sorry you didn't get that chance to ask Coach Jones a question, but I'm sure you would have had a great question.
It's not like I don't have his phone number if I don't understand anything.
Yeah, or you could just even yell down there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who he's talking to, but I'm sure that you could interrupt whoever he's talking to.
Yeah, I see him during the week. It's okay.
Yeah, if you got a question. Or we can wait till next week. Maybe another win for Grayson County. First, we got to give our offensive player of the game. Multiple potential candidates. I mean, Colby passes 1,000 yards for the season. Mm-hmm. Great accomplishment. But I said it. Are you going to agree with me during the game? Our offensive player of the game is Lane Beasley, the kicker for Grayson County. He deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, perfect on extra points. Got him an extra possession. Even on defense, made a couple plays. I mean, he just all around played extremely well.
Running down the scoring from this game, you had a 1-yard touchdown run by Van Meter to start us off. 2-yard touchdown runs by Hanshaw. He had a pair of those. 28-yard touchdown pass from Chaffins to Van Meter. A safety. A 60-yard free kick on that safety returned for a touchdown by Hanshaw. And a 41-yard touchdown return by Van Meter. That made it 44-0. And then Stephen Lee, with about a minute and a half left, had a 40-yard touchdown run. Next week, Grayson County will be back here. It doesn't matter if they're playing Fairdale or North Bullitt. It will be here at Grayson County High School. 6:30 will be the start time. If you didn't come and you're close,
you get another chance.
Come on out, support these guys. I'm sure they'll have some sort of tailgate or something. I even heard that our camera operator, Eli Smith, is going to be signing autographs next week.
Really?
I heard that. He's going to be signing headshots. He's printed them off. So if you want an Eli headshot.
I was down there today, and I mean,
they were asking for it.
Yeah, that's what they actually asked me that multiple times.
So if you want one, come out next week. He'll have them ready for you. And even, I mean, you got his picture up on the wall there. It's gone up there. There's only 2 people, though, that are in the picture, both pictures. That's us. That'll wrap up our coverage here tonight. I want to thank the K105 Digital Productions crew for their hard work. Your camera operator was Eli Smith. Your director was Trey Cook. And your other camera operator was Abby Hallett. Taylor, any parting shots?
Not really. Just get it. You're 1-0 for this week. Starting Monday, you're back to 0-0. Get it done.
So on a night where Grayson County picks up the 51-0 win to advance to the second round of the KHSAA playoffs, this is for Kaylor Decker. This is Sam Gormley saying, so long, everyone.